Hello, nature lovers. My name is Adam Barralet, and I'm of Crystal Connections. I'm really excited to be talking to you today about a star sign that I feel I know quite a lot about because I've spent over 30 years getting to know this sign, and that's Gemini, my natural sun sign. So what we know about all different star signs is that they can have great attributes and they can have not so great attributes, and we can use these beautiful gifts of nature to actually bring these traits into balance. So today we're going to be working looking at Gemini. Now, I introduced you to the idea in the last couple of days that each star sign represents 7 years of life. And so for Gemini, that is 14, that eternal, lively, full of energy teenager. And when you think of Geminis, I'm sure you know them, that definitely they have that energy about them. They're sometimes referred to as hand sign because they never grow up. Even as they get older, they look young, they act young, they're always quite playful. And that's one of the beautiful things about Geminis. They're also an air sign, so they're big communicators and they're talking, but they're also, sorry, I've got a noisy crow outside. They think a lot, they're always going. And if one little tip, if you want to keep a Gemini entertained, they need constant mental stimulation. And so this is what we want to kind of nurture in Geminis, make sure that thrives, but not get too much as well. If you've got any questions, feel free to fire them up as I'm chatting along, but let's look at some crystals. That crow really wants to be on this live with me. Let's look at some crystals that are really good to bring out that Gemini energy. The first one is called Bumblebee Stone. Look at the beautiful colors in this. Bit of a dangerous one. It's a little bit toxic, but if it's varnished, you can be fine. Bumblebee Stone, Geminis are a real social sign, and so it really helps to helps with that sociability. It helps you to be confident. It helps you to make sure that when you meet people, that you actually connect with them, power struggles and different things like that, and also to gain a lot through collaboration and group work, which Geminis, these social beings, really enjoy. Can't believe this crow. Another one that's really good for Geminis is called Super Quartz. Now, you may have heard of Super 7 or Auralite 23, but this is where the camera, and hopefully you can see there's some bits of brown here. That smoky quartz is a clear quartz, and then this purple there is actually amethyst. So it's all these different kinds of quartz growing together, and then inside that you get different other crystals growing, like rutile or cacoxenite or lepidocrosite. Crystals working together. Now, what this teaches us is about unity, and what you'll find with Geminis is they really have a strong ability to be able to see different perspectives. They're really good negotiators or peacekeepers. They can understand one point of view, and then they can understand another point of view, and really help to bring these different points of view together to find win-win situations. Geminis are so adaptable in their behavior. They'll be rolling on the floor with a toddler pretending to be a pig 1 minute, and then they'll be having with a professor talking about quantum physics the next. This mental linguistics and being able to bring things together is very much what is enhanced by Super Quartz. It's also really good for lifting energy. If I wear too much Super Quartz, it's kind of like I've drunk about 2 liters of Coca-Cola. I get quite hyperactive. It can be good sometimes, but sometimes you need to calm your farm down. But this is really good for lifting that energy and bringing people together. It can also help to work ideas together. Plus, because it's about unity, I believe that this is one of the best crystals to help counteract terrorism, because terrorism is due to a segregation with humanity. This is also really good about bringing people together and working with the internet. So if your internet is not working properly, try Super Quartz near the modem and see what happens. Another great crystal for Geminis is Thalite. Let me give you an extreme close up of that one. It's a bit of a nice, beautiful pinky one. And I call this wow crystal. The reason being, this one brings out that femme fatale or that Don Juan. It helps you to be very flirtatious and very playful, and kind of share exactly what you're passionate about when it comes to life. This would be a great one for a first date, or when you're going for a job interview, because it helps. It's the combination of kind of air energy, thought and communication, and a bit of spark and fire. So it helps you put your best foot forward. So Thalite is a really good one for those kind of playful, flirtatious Geminis, because they're really good at that. Now, one of the challenges with being a Gemini is that a lot of the time Geminis being such sociable people, so much, they can get a little bit overwhelmed. And in that case, I really recommend Kyanite for them. Now, how I describe Kyanite is I want you to imagine that you are that I put you in a log cabin in the middle of the forest for a whole week by yourself, where your partner, your friends, your family, your colleagues, no one will contact you. Now, there in that cabin, you'd probably find your natural balance quite easily, wouldn't you? But unfortunately, we don't have that ability. And sometimes we can feel so pulled in so many different directions, and our phone won't shut up, and we've got so many emails, and we can feel really scattered and uncentered. Kyanite is, I call it spiritual wire. It actually helps to stop you taking on too much energies around you. So when you're a Gemini, because you tend to have a lot of energy, you tend to expand, leave energy everywhere, this helps with stop that. There's also people that tend to take on the energies of what's around them, or if you get overwhelmed, in large groups or concerts or busy restaurants, or if you work with a lot of people in retail or hospitality or education or something like that, Kyanite can be really good. And if you come and see me at one of the big fairs like the Mind Body Spirit festivals in Australia, in London, or at the Conscious Living Expo in Perth, I'll always be wearing a Kyanite bracelet because I'm talking to so many people in that day. That's my Gemini nature. This is really, really good for Geminis. Now, crystals are one really powerful thing we can use for Geminis, but we can also use essential oils. And when we collaborate the two together, the powers are unstoppable. And you can see if you jump on my how much I bang on about combining the two. So the first one that's really good for Geminis is, yesterday we talked about the body part, which is the throat. And we kind of move down and we get to the lungs and the chest. And this is the area of Gemini. Geminis are big communicators. Oh, breaking up a bit. I've got full connection. I'm not sure if it's your end, Vicky, or not. But, okay, well, I'll keep plowing through anyway. So Gemini big communicators, they rely on their respiratory system, and they rely on being able to communicate. So the oil of eucalyptus. Nope, I don't know if that's showing on the screen very well. Eucalyptus is a really good one. It allows us to breathe nice and easily and comfortably, to be able to take in life and to deal with life, and also to expel and express life and share that with the rest of the world as well. Another one that's really good. So Gemini, because half the time they're talking, and the other half of the time, that's why they've got the twins, they're the thinker. And when we want to bring out that thinker, they can go quite into little nitterings and natterings and things. And the mints are really good for mental clarity for Geminis. Peppermint is really great. I call it day mint. It brings us real alertness, real awakeness, and that type of thing. We may not want that at night. We may want night mint, which is spearmint. Spearmint is beautiful for really bringing in that finer understanding of that complexities of how things work. It works really nicely with what's what I'm looking for, like esoteric studies and New Age studies, spiritual studies, pagan studies, anything like that. Our ancestors actually used to inhale spearmint to help them retain that alert when they were studying these types of things. So really great Gemini. Now Geminis can get a little bit excited and their nervous system gets a bit shocked because they're trying to do so much in one day. And one oil that is really good for that, we talked about it yesterday for Taurans, but it's totally different properties we're going to engage it in today. Ylang is a beautiful oil for calming down the nervous system. It's known as the oil of lovers, and we don't feel very romantic when we're stressed, so it helps calm us down that way. But this can help with the overactive mind, overactive nervous system, and especially Geminis who struggle to sleep because there's so much going on in that mind. Ylang can be really good. Now, one other thing I really wanted to share with you, and I've been sharing with you in the last couple of days about Aries and Taurus, you can go back and watch those videos on YouTube or on my page, is I'm talking about the angel. And just like we know about Michael and Gabriel, each zodiac sign has an angel as well. The angel for Gemini is Embryo. And Embryo helps to bring out all these beautiful traits. Geminis and other people, helps them to be communicators, helps them to be able to see different perspectives, helps to think things through clearly and concisely and go through all those little details, but it stops us getting overwhelmed by too much energy. So you can call on Ambriel, Ambriel, and I really like to use Kyanite. I'll hold some Kyanite. If you take too much today, or help me to reground and recenter. Now I'm going to give you a bit of a oil you can make to connect with Ambriel today. Now if you've got your essential oil, doTERRA essential oil, so you'll need some doTERRA essential oils to make this amazing. And what you do is you need 3 parts Douglas fir, 1 part eucalyptus, and 1 part spearmint. So that could either be 3 Douglas fir, 1 of eucalyptus, 1 of spearmint, or you can double it, make it 6, 2, and 2. So that can be a really nice way to kind of connect with Embryo, connect with that Gemini energy in a bit of a blend as well. So the interesting thing about all the star signs is, although you may think or know yourself as a Gemini or a Scorpio or one sun sign, that is actually one of your signs. In fact, we have all signs within our birth chart and within our astrological makeup. Even if you're not a Gemini star sign, you have Gemini in you. It may be an energy that there's an excess of and we need to calm it down. There may not be enough of it and we need to bring that up. And how we learn about that is, it's a bit of a complex way, but I have created an online course. I can see a couple of people who've joined us now. Vicky's doing it at the moment. Cassie's about to start it. Jonathan, who's listening as well, helps with all the graphics of it. And it's an absolutely amazing course. And we go through each of the signs and work out what angels you can work with and how you can balance them in your own chart. So you get to learn and understand your own birth chart. In this 6-month online course, we also look at chakras, we look at crystal layouts, crystal grids, Lemurian healing, a whole range of different things, connecting with different angels, animals, and all that type of thing as well. Great news is I actually have my next course starting next Saturday in 9 days' time. And if you haven't done it, I would love you to do it. But you must start on the 8th of April with everyone else so that you're in the Facebook group so you can all share knowledge and that type of thing as well. As soon as I jump off this live, I'm going to pop the link down below. So if you are interested, you can read up all about it. And if you've got any questions, I'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much for joining me. Hello to Tracy and hello to everyone else that joined me. I'm Adam Barralet of Crystal Connections. And today we've been exploring Gemini, and I'll be back at the same time tomorrow to explore Cancer.